Welcome back everyone. Quickly, let's continue our discussion on HTML forms. And right now, we'll be discussing about the HTML form action attribute. The action attribute defines the action to be performed when the form is submitted. Usually, the form data is sent to a file on the server. When the user clicks on the submit button, in the example below, the form data is sent to a file called actionpage.php. The file contains a server-side script that handles the form data. The form handler is typically a file on the server with a script for processing input data. In this example below, on submit, this one send the form information to actionpage.php, and I'm going to show you how this works quickly. But before we start, if I want you to notice this tip, if the action attribute is omitted, the action is set to the current page. That is, the action is going nowhere. If the action attribute is omitted, the action is set to the current page. The page will not go anywhere. It will stay at the current page. But if the action attribute is specified along with the value, then it's going to, when we click our submit button, our submit button is going to direct us to the action value, and the action value is going to take us to the page where we specify in it. So quickly, let me show you how this works. Right here, let's open our file. No, let's create a new file. Let's create this action.html. This is a new topic. Now this is action, our action.html. Right click and open it with your VS Code. And again, we will need another file again. Let's call it let's create another file. Let's delete this one first. Sorry. So, and let's create another file. But before we create another file, our action file is ready. Let's quickly generate some HTML markups. So let me hide this one and come up here. Just write, we need form, right? But before we create a form, let's open it with our Firefox. This is it. We are having empty action page right here. So let's create form. To create a form, don't forget we have discussed about this. Automatically, as you can see, the VS Code automatically give us action attribute. But assuming we don't need it for now, we don't want to use it right now because we are going to specify it later. So let's do it from scratch by ourselves. Let's now, inside the form, what do we need? we need an input. We need two inputs. The first input is for taking user input. You understand? The second input is submit button input. Input of submit. Yes, we need input of what? Of submit. This is button, but I'm going to change it to submit. We need these two input type. Input, the first type is input type of text. The second type is input type of submit. All this is going to work together. So let's reload our document so you can be able to see what is going on right here. As you can see right here, when we reload it, we're having input type of text and we are having input type of submit. So when we click this, it's going to direct us to somewhere, right? But now, right now, when we click it, it's not directing us to anywhere. So to work with this, let's say for instance now we want this submit button to direct us to somewhere, where the place we are having our script file. So inside this our HTML form, from the opening tag of the HTML form, we are going to have our action. I'm trying to explain this in detail so you can be able to understand this. As you can see, after we wrote the action, we have is equal to double quote. Inside the double quote, we are going to specify where we want to direct our submit button to, our text that is inside here. And whatever people write inside this text, inside this input text, when we click this submit button is going to take it and send it into the file, so into this action. So the action is now going to direct it to the place that we specify in it. So now let's just write go in. Let's just write go in, or let's just write inside dot php. Let's imagine this is a file in another place, and this one is a script file. Everybody, in our future tutorial, I will be discussing about PHP in details, because PHP is a scripting language. So I'm going to discuss about it later. So let's quickly create one PHP file. So what I did right here is that I press Ctrl. When after the pressing the Ctrl, I now right click on it. So when you right click on it, it will automatically open the link in a new tab. So that's what I did here, but I don't want to do this right now. Let me go back to my document here. Let me just create one. As you can see, it has already generated the file. Look at this, our screen right now. We are not having any inside.php right here. But when I do like this, when I come on top of this action value right here, I press Ctrl. Well, if I now click it like this, it will now ask me a question that the editor could not be opened because the file was not found. So unable to open inside.php. So it's now asking me to create file or cancel it. So I will now answer it, please create the file for us. So when I click the create file, it will automatically create. So now let's check our desktop. Can you see we are having it now? So it will display in our current file instead of us creating it from the scratch. So I'm going to show you how to create it from scratch also quickly. So because I want everything I'm doing here to be right click on your desktop right here, do as if you want to create a file. Now create inside .php, and yes, as you can see, we have created the file by ourselves manually, and we can open it with our VS Code. Can you see the same thing happens? So there's no any magic in this. And if you want this VS Code, if you want to create it directly from the VS Code, you are going to come to the action attribute right here. Inside the link you have already created, just press Ctrl on it and press your tab and press your right click on it. So quickly, let me leave this for now. Let me write h1 tag here so you can be able to understand what I want to do. Let's say hello inside file. So I'm going to save this file now, so you can I want you to be able to know what is going on. So let's imagine we send without writing anything right here. We have reloaded our document. Let's submit it. Maybe it will go to somewhere. Can you see? It took us to hello inside file immediately, and the inside file is inside our word. This hello inside file is right inside our word, inside our PHP index.php file. So that's what I want you to know. Whenever you click this submit, let's now say for instance now you don't have this submit, maybe you have text or you have button tag, it will not work. let's reload our document. Firstly, let's get back and reload our document. Can you see when you click it, it's not taking you to anywhere? And also, let's say we specify another type, which is, let's say, text. In our previous tutorial, we have discussed about different type of input field you can have. As you can see, when we click it, it will not take us to anywhere. So the only one you can use is the submit, input type of submit. So the input type of submit is going to direct us to this action attribute, and this action attribute is going to send us to this inside.php. So let's now reload it. So let's click it again. Can you see hello inside file? So that's how it works. So now let's get back to our document, and now say we want to send something. We want to send something to this. We want to send the information from this input. We want to send it to this inside.php. So but firstly, let's do as if we don't have this inside.php file. So let's remove it. Let's just do as if we don't have the inside.php file. Let's reload our document and reload it. Can you see what happens? It's not taking us to anywhere, right? But we will do something different because we are having, let's bring it back, because we are having this inside.php file. Let's delete it also from the outside way. I want us to test different type of things here. That's why you are seeing me doing like this. So let's imagine we send something now again. Can you see what happens? Because we are now having it inside our home page right here, inside our desktop right here, it's trying to take us to the inside.php file, despite the fact that we specify it inside our URL here. Now let's now imagine that we remove it. You will know the power. The power of this action is the one I'm trying to show you. Power. Let's now click it again. Can you see it's not taking us to anywhere? That's what I want you to know. But let's say let's say you put something here which is inside .php. So it's going to take us to the file. So let's now pretend that we are having the file. Can you see now? This is inside.php file. Let's now pretend that I purposely want to do it in this manner so that you can be able to see this place. Please, I want you to notice this place right here, because I want you to notice this place. That's why I purposely did it in this manner. So I don't want you to be looking at this file right here up here, our input at the browser here. We want to look at our input right here. So because all these things right here, they are so important to us. So now there is something you should notice here. Let's get back to our document. Write something like write anwar. When I write anwar, I submit. When I write anwar, I submit. This inside.php is just asking question that what are you trying to send? I'm not seeing anything. As you can see, the anwar is not reflecting right here as if you are sending it. It's as if it's just only this dot we are seeing. It's as if you are sending empty something to the inside.php. But the inside.php is now asking, what are you trying to do? I don't understand you. So now let's get back to our document. Definitely that's where another thing comes up. Now let's check our code. Definitely we need one more thing. We are trying to submit, and we are trying to send this text that we are having here. We are trying to send it to this action file so that this action file can be able to send it this action, so that this action attribute can be able to send it to the inside.php. So now what we need to do is to give it a name. Without giving it a name, it will never work. Let's just give it name of submit. No, let's give it name of text, because it's the text, the thing, whatever we write inside this text is the one we want to send. So let's give it name of text. So whenever we write anything inside this input of text, now input type of text, now it will now send that thing inside. The thing will now be inside this place. Now send that thing inside here. I'm going to share, and this thing now is now going to take it to the action. The action is now going to take it send it into the inside. So let me show you how it works in an easy way. Let's now reload our document now, as we have specified something. Let's now say, without adding anything here, without specifying any input, let's submit it. Can you see? Now our text is waiting for something. As you can see, our text is now equals to something. That is, this our text right here want to work. So that is ready to take something. So let me change this text to another so you can understand what I'm trying to say. Input. Let's say, now call this input. Yes. Let's reload it. Look at it. This place is going to change to something now. Let me take it back and reload it. Let me try and send something, empty something. Can you see? Now we are having input. So whatever you send now is now going to enter this input, and this input is now going to what? It's now going to send it to this inside.php. I want you to understand this thing very well, because that's why I'm trying to explain deeply like this. So sometimes this thing may be confusing to many people. So the benefit of using this name is the one I'm trying to show you. So let's now say again, we need another input again. Let's say we need another input, and another input again is this one. And we want to say, let's say password. Let's give this one. We have not discussed about this one, but let me give you this type of input checkbox. Let me just give it checkbox. Let's see what we have. If you reload, it will not reflect yet. Let's come back and send this checkbox. But don't let us send the checkbox first. Just let us send everything without clicking the checkbox, without writing anything inside our input. Let's submit it. Can you see what we are seeing right here? We are seeing input only, but we are not seeing the checkbox. So definitely let's just check our checkbox. Our checkbox is also having input. So definitely there is something going on. Then now get back again. Let's do as if we select something. Let's submit it. Can you see? Input is equal to 1. You understand? But the thing that is right here is that this our first input is equal to nothing, and input is equal to 1. So if we don't click this one now right here, it's not going to display anything. Let me resend it. Can you see? It's not displaying anything. Now let me specify something inside this our text here, so you can be able to know that. Let me give this input another thing. Let me call it check box, so you can be able to understand what I'm talking about. And this one is text box. This is a deep explanation that you can ever find anywhere. So let me bring it back, because if you reload it like that, it did not work. So I want you to notice the place we are checking. I will not select this. I will not write anything in our input, and I will not select this checkbox. I will not select it. Now let me submit it. Can you see what we are seeing right here? We are seeing our text box. Text box is waiting for something, right? But let's now go and select our input. When we select this input now, don't let us write anything yet. Can you see what happens? What happened right here is that our checkbox is on. You understand what I'm talking about now? So it's as if we are sending a value to the checkbox. Our checkbox is taking it to the inside.php. So that's why we are having checkbox is equal to 1, and this one is waiting for it. So let us say we want to write something inside our text box also. You are going to see the checkbox and the checkbox on. Let us say for instance now, let's remove this first. Let's write anwar right here, and now let's click our checkbox. We are going to see the both value there. Can you see? Text box is equal to anwar and checkbox is equal to 1. So these two values right here, they are going inside our what? Inside our inside.php. because this inside.php is giving us question mark. It's asking for something that you are trying to send something. What are you trying to send? So let's now say inside our inside.php right here, inside this file right here, if to say we are having script file that is waiting to get some things, you understand? This one I will not explain this one right here because it's going to confuse you guys. So let's say this one, the code that is inside our inside.php is the code that we can use that is waiting for input, like this type of input. Anything we are writing right here, if the code we wrote inside it is the code that is waiting for something like that, it's going to take it and it's going to display it for us. Whatever we put inside, it's going to take it and it's going to display this text box, and it's going to display the checkbox also for us. That's what I want to explain here so far. Please try to understand this. Let's now say, for instance, now we add another input and we give it another name. You should know that this one is the text box input, which is here. As you can see, this is not the name that is taken. It is working along with this text box here, and this second one is working along with this checkbox here. So let me show you now that, let me confirm it to you that the name is the one that is using. Without the name value, it will never work. Let's specify another input again. Let's, among the input we have discussed about, let's use the input of text box, input of checker. Let's use the input of password. We haven't discussed about password. No, I'm not sure yet. So let's use this password now. You know that you will see that this password will not go anywhere, will not display yet. On our heads we specify the name. So let's come back and reload our document. As you can see, we are having input of text box, input of checkbox, and the password. Let's submit these three things. Let's see the one that will reflect. Can you see? Our text box reflects, our checkbox reflects, but our password is not reflecting. Now we are going to specify name for our password. Now let's give our name password. So let's give it name. Let's just give it name without specifying name pass. Firstly, let's give it empty name. Yes, let's give it empty name. Let's see how it will look when we give it empty name. Let's reload our document and send it. Can you see? The empty name also is not showing anything. So now let's give it something. Let's call it password box. You can call it anything. Password stuff. You can call it password stuff. Anything. Let's reload. It will not reflect yet. Let's come back to our document and reload it. Let's submit it right now. You are going to see the password is going to say password is equal to nothing. There is nothing in front of it. Can you see? Password stuff is equal to nothing. So this one is just the breakpoint in the full stop. So that is telling us that there is nothing right here, and this is the end. So let me now show you that we are going to give our password stuff also something now. Let's get back to our document. Reload. Add password here. Let's see. Let me add anwar also. Let's click here. This one. Let's submit it. Can you see? Even automatically our Google Chrome also is showing something. Say password for a file. Let's see. We put anwar, right? Now, can you see what we are seeing right here? Password stuff is equal to anwar. It's ready to take the password that way. So let's say now say the script we wrote inside our inside.php file is ready to take this text box, the checkbox, and password stuff. It's going to take it easily without any problem because we have specified it and we have arranged it in a good manner, in a way that our inside.php is going to take it, and it's reflecting already. So it's just for us to create the inside.php file so that you can even, I've been seeing many videos online explaining this, but I'm not sure you can find someone that explain it deeply for now. than this one I'm showing for now. And in the next picture also, I'm still going to explain it much better than this. But I hope you could understand this. With this, you should be ready to get going. As you can see on inside our our browser input right here, as you can see, we are seeing inside the same thing we are seeing right here is the one you are seeing inside our input right here. So we are seeing inside the php question mark text box is equal to anwar and checkbox is equal to on, and this thing and you are seeing between them is concatenation. Is this one is trying to connect this thing, is trying to join them together. It's encryption. This is encryption. So it's like if you watch our character encoding, sorry, this one is encoding. So in our character encoding, entity encoding, html encoding, all those stuffs, you are going to know the benefit of using this, and you are seeing right here, they are so useful. So that this ant is one that is joining, it join this together and this one together, so that everything can enter our inside.php file. So that's what I want to show you guys. So please try to practice all this I'm showing you, because practice makes perfect. If I have something yet I want to show, then I say if the action attribute is omitted, the action is set to the current page. That is, if this action attribute is omitted, if let's say for instance now we remove this action, because we are talking about the action, let's remove the action now and try to send something. If it's going to somewhere, let's say for instance we write anwar here, right, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Let's now submit it. It will not go anywhere. It will stay inside this current page. Can you see? It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So please try to understand what you are doing, because if you don't specify the action, you never take all these things. And for this action also to take anything to your server, to the file that you specify inside it, this action, for this action to take anything to the file you specify inside, you must use this name. That's where the names comes from. We have explained this name in our previous tutorial, and but for you to understand everything I'm showing you guys here very well, try to check our HTML form playlist, so you can be able to understand all this. And I'm going to rearrange the playlist very well, so you can be able to see the input playlist also in a sensible manner. So anwar akorede ayofe is my name. I think we have already learned about the action now, so we are good to go now. So anwar akorede ayofe is my name. I wish to see you guys next time. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Until the next. Bye bye.